Okay, try to draw this picture in an attempt to try to explain a little bit on blade geometry. Now, the modern blade geometry, this one I messed up. Modern blade geometry are more so like this or this. Now, it's gonna be a little hard to see. Okay, so basically modern geometry, you'll have somewhat of a convex or Niku right here, but what happens gets to right around the edge, it'll make another turn right here. Okay, so what they did is this thing caused the angle to be not in symmetry. It makes an extra wide turn. Now the reason why this is during manufacturing, when they were doing the blades, they take the blade to a belt sander and they profile a flat grind. Okay, so what happened is that once they profile a flat grind at the edge, when they're ready to continue to make the blade, they use a belt sander or grinder to round out that flat grind right here at the edge. So what's going to happen is it creates the angle quite wide because it comes from a flat grind. Not only that, is when you're cutting to a target, it pushes the target away from the blade. Now, when it does that, it's really good to reduce drag if the blade has a very good entry angle. But if this entry angle after the blending is around 70 to 80 degrees, this is a bad entry angle. So what happens is when you cut into something, it's trying to impact it. Now imagine you're cutting into a water bottle. You have this bevel area impacting the water bottle. The edge is not sharp or pointing enough to cut. So what's going to happen is it's pushing the bottle and then trying to split it, hit it, yet the edge is trying to cut it or slice it at the same time. Now this is not a good cutting blade. And it gets worse, or I have seen where they go from a flat grind to a tiny little bevel at the edge where you can't even see it, and this thing goes to 70-80 degrees too. This type of geometry with a flat, almost a flat to a bevel, is on common Chinese manufactured katanas, mostly like Huawei or Sword Master A66 or whatever. I don't know who they are, but anyway, you guys know who they are. These are mass-produced, manufactured machine grinds. Traditionally, even if you have a heavy Niku blade, there is no bevel. There is no turn at the edge. It is not possible for it to do so because they profile the whole thing as a whole. They won't go all of a sudden when they get to the edge, tilt the blade up, and then make a circle right here just to gain strength. That's not how it works. These are our type of geometry, the HSTS blades. What we have is basically a continuous curve to the edge. The curve is Niku, convex, not flat grind. So the reason why you don't want to do flat grind, because when you do flat grind, it's like brake pads against a rotor. it drags. So when you're doing this, you're cutting into the target. The edge goes in first. The edge is doing the work while it slips in and the convex trying to split and push the target. Now, this whole time, because it's in a convex edge, not whole blade surface is touching. It's like each area is touching one at a time. So it's not dragging. And it's allowing the edge to slice. And because it's not pushing with a bevel right here out this way, when you're cutting a tatami mat, it stays more static. Basically, less impact toward the mats or bottles that you're cutting. Therefore, the edge can actually cut. If I added extra niku right here for edge strength, it's going to push the target wider. And then not allowing the edge to do its full work of actually trying to slice through. So therefore, target less static. And the edge is not able to slide through. It's more like struggling to slide through while this thing, the niku, is pushing the target away. So the edge comes down to something like this. This is our edge. This is more like a ha-niku traditional edge. And this is a modern manufactured I can write geometry. Now this mainly has to do, remember now, because they bell sand a flat grind at the edge, then blend in the rest of the cutting plane. So when you're impacting into a target, the edge can't really cut because the sides where the niku is or the bevel is pushing the target faster than your edge can actually cut it. So this comes down to it is when you trying to sharpen the edge, you make this edge extremely sharp, hair popping sharp or whatever. It doesn't matter because the bevel and the extra round niku, the blend in niku, is still there. So after you got this part hair popping sharp, when you impact into the target, what's going to happen? It's going to do exactly the same thing because you did not change the angle, the entry angle, by reducing the excess bevel and niku right here for much better and deeper entry. Like this. So this is the reason for modern katanas, you can't just sharpen the edge and then expect, you know, a different type of performance. Because the sword cuts with its whole cutting plane. It's geometry. A sharp edge won't do you no good when you have a lot of restrictions on the side.